to drop the list. So I just want to let you guys know about order of operations type stuff. We're going to have one of our features start our show, Miss Jennifer Jones. And then we're going to have some of everybody. And then we're going to have another feature, Ricardo. And then we're going to have more people. And then we're going to be done. So the list is about to drop. You're going to see it go 1 through 11, then 12 to 23, and you guys know how numbers work. There's also a little tiny list. Sometimes as people are setting up or as people are kind of pulling themselves together, we just have a couple of minutes. And if you're somebody who doesn't want to do a whole set, or if you're a poet who wants an extra couple minutes, 2-3 minutes on the mic, no setup, whatever, already pulled up on your phone, you could sign up on this little blue list. It's different because it's a different set of circumstances, so I tried to make this as easy as possible. Anywho, the lists are about to drop at the end of the bar as people are coming in and asking you guys, hey, where's the list? It's going to be at the end of the bar all night. If somebody sees confused about numbers, please explain it to them. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. Hi, yeah, thanks for the whistling. Clap as you hear my voice and stop talking. This isn't for applause, it's just for, okay, thanks. Hi, welcome to like the 30-something Openest Mic and the first at Canvas by Coff33 Corp. A lot of you guys have already been to Openest Mics, but just so you know, kind of like rules of the road here, don't be a hateful bigot. Don't say a word you would embarrass to have a screenshot of you saying on YouTube because this is streaming. Be respectful to the people that you hear and let them know that you are here. When you hear something that you like, you can do the snapping thing, you can do the clapping thing. I don't have any bells today, but you can always say woo or yeah. And if you hear something that sounds fucked up to you, I never want to be the person that has to stop that. I think that we as a community should stop that. So if we hear anything that just sounds horrendous, feel free to shout them down because I don't want to listen to it and neither do you. It's a beautiful Sunday, why should we? Thanks. As I said, we have some really lovely features tonight, and as always, I do want to start off with a little poem of my own just to kind of break the ice. I have no problem being emotionally intimate because I trust that everybody here is not an asshole, and I want to set that precedent so that you guys can all believe the same. This is a poem I wrote yesterday, and you will know what it's about when I'm done. A smile half glimpse from afar, the kind of face I won't forget. Undulating torso, movement with abandon. You're wacky, you're waving. Your arms are inflatable tubes, man. Ceaseless consistency in chaos, of chaos. Monday morning to Saturday night, ambivalent and reassuring. Our eyes never lock. It's not like that between us. But I feel your protection regardless. A sack of air filled with positive vibes and joy to spare. Enticement for tires I don't need, won't fit, can't install, but honestly, I want to price out just to be close to you. Just to say to a stranger, wow, that's a weird guy. Point at you, denigrate our love, my dependency, your watchfulness. As always, I'm denying my best self, and as always, you dance in silent agreement. Thank you. A couple other like housekeeping type vibes. The exits are where the signs that say exit are. Again, like there's like some games, some books, some comfy chairs if you need a moment. Bathrooms are behind me, drinks are next to me. There's like Venmo, PayPal, something else, cash with which to pay, no cards. Sets are 5 minutes or 2 songs. I already said no bigots, right? First up on the mic is a woman whom I hope gives her autobiography because she can do better justice to it than I can do her biography. This is a woman whom I have lurked in the back corners of many performances of because she is a legend and I've been watching her here since my mid-20s and I'm so excited to bring her to you guys. Guys, give it up for Jennifer Jones, please.
So that I can put my notes on something. Oh, I don't need a chair, really. Yeah, I'm fine. I want to thank Laura and her wonderful team for setting me up. I've been panicking for the last week about this performance, and lo and behold, 3 days before this performance, I was blocked out of SoundCloud, which is where all my catalog of music is, because of this crazy two-step, factor authentication. Anyway, I finally got in, but because of Tyler here, he's managed to get into my website, and he's got this audio system that I could only dream of. And I want to thank Laura, who has really encouraged me to be here. And there's there are things about Laura that are how can I categorize it? It's your fantasy. You are someone to reckon with in terms of your force of nature. but I think I think right now, for myself, I will tell a little story, not my whole autobiography, Laura, because that would take way too long. But it was almost 10 years ago that I stood on this stage and I debuted as a composer. And which, when Laura said that it's going to be at the old, it's Tryst or Destarè, I remember it as Destarè, I thought, oh my God, that's where I finally came out. There was an event called Cha. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that was something that was like an open mic, and it was run by the college, by a photography professor there. And there were, it was great turnout. It was wonderful. And so here I was for the first time showing, I don't know, my compositions, and that I was now, after retirement from the public schools teaching music, I now was creating myself. So that was a great night for me, and then I've never stopped composing. I'm almost up to 300 tracks on SoundCloud, original songs, yeah. And I can't believe that, but it's because of what's been going on with me for the last couple of years, that I've just been writing crazy. And when I went to my first poetry, Openest, I started to really think about, my music is inspired by so many feelings. I mean, that's what my music is about. And to be able to then write something and get to the point where I'm describing the music in a way that's intimately in my feelings and what I was going through, was really an inspiration for me, because I felt I could come out in that way also. So my journey as a composer has been very complicated. I'm not a performer from what you would imagine. I mean, I do play out, but I improvise. I'm classically trained. I would always read the music, and my music is very classically oriented. And if you listen to any of my music, you can hear a little bit of Mozart, you can hear a little bit of Beethoven, you can hear, those classical influences. But I never, ever improvised. I always read the music. And so that was sort of back in 2015, 16 was the time when I said, I've got to do something else. I'm retired from the schools, and I started to compose. So here I am, doing my second coming out after almost 10 years later and almost 300 tracks. I'm going to start off with a work to honor a very good friend who couldn't be here tonight, Ellen DiGeronimo. How many of you have heard Ellen DiGeronimo's name? Oh, hi, Cheryl. Okay, Ellen was also in the audience and her husband Ralph at the time, when I debuted. But she has been, her love for Fitchburg is unprecedented. I mean, her whole life has been evolved around how she can make a better Fitchburg. And she dreamed up, one of her brainchilds was the downtown paintings. And this video that I'm showing you is a video of the retrospective that took place in 2016 at a Main Street gallery. And it features all local artists from this area who you might recognize their names. And the retrospective covers 5 years, from 2007 to 2011. And in here you'll see all of the individual paintings that we were able to bring together for this retrospective. It was a very successful event. And if Ellen were here, she would be so pleased. And because this is being streamed, I wanted to bring up how important she has been, not only in my life, but in so many people here in Fitchburg who have shared her love for the city and have decided, you know, I'm going to do something great too. And that don't be afraid that other people might say, oh, Fitchburg, you know, why are you living there? She always was the first one to defend Fitchburg because this was her beloved home. So we're going to start with Visions of Fitchburg. And this was one of the first pieces that I debuted back 2016, called I Know a Place. Too much about sound production, but it was a song that I think worked very well with images. And this is one of the things that for people that know me, I love art, and I love how it speaks to me. And so often I'm inspired by art in my own work. And starting off with taking these wonderful paintings and putting together a song was very, very wonderful for me. Okay, Tyler, go back to the home page on my website. So, yep. Okay. I'm going to share with you a video short of a kind of an orchestral piece called Beginning, and that's that first one. That's just a short. That was, I think, 2.5 minutes. The original is a little over 5 minutes, so I encourage you to go on SoundCloud and listen to the entire piano work. Okay, let's scroll down, and we're going to go to another, keep going, down, down. Okay, a poem without words. In the last minute, because my music was being blocked on SoundCloud, etc., I decided I'm not going to go with the theme of my most recent work. I'm just going to do songs about love. And songs about love is what I do write all the time. And even if it's a song that might have lyrics that are not angry, but just describe the instability and security that we're going through in our world right now, there's always hope and there's always peace in my work, because that's only what I want to write. And when I sit down at the piano, I work off of a Yamaha keyboard, 88 keys with full size, and I'm able to put a little, a little thumb drive in, and I'll do like maybe a 15-second improvisation. I'll just sit in and just, sometimes I've got a theme in mind. Most of the time though, I sit because I just need to play, and then something comes out, and usually within that 10-15 minutes of playing, I will have at least one song in there, and then I take it back to the editor, and then I create an actual song with a beginning, middle, and end, and then I have it notated and scored. What I find about that process is that I don't have to stop in the middle of my ideas and having to write down this and that. So for me, I'm able to write at that moment, connect with my feelings, and that's what I love to do most. This one, the song without words, it's kind of an impressionistic style to it with chords. You might hear a little Debussy in there, but I think the images it'll all speak for itself, and I don't have a poem with it because this is the poem. particularly love that work. I find that putting the images together, I use Vimeo, and Vimeo has like little clips, you know, that are part of the membership or whatever. And it's so hard to kind of select the images. So that to me is, I can write the song pretty quickly. It's the images to put with it that it makes it hard. But I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Have you done anything with the Boston Pops and the symphony?
The what?
Have you done any work with the Boston Pops or Boston?
Oh, no. No.
When listening to that music there, so I saw violins everywhere.
Yeah. Well, this is, well, right now, you know, I've had a couple of people ask me to do this, do that, and right now, I'm so happy to be able to just write and kind of get my feelings out, and to be here today in front of you and getting it out there, because I haven't done that. And I do have, you know, a Music Dreams website, not a website, a Facebook page that I put things up on, but I haven't really done a lot of promotion. And but I do have quite a few streams around the world. And but anyway, I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the next piece I think you'll love too. This one is, again, we talked about love, and I'm going to read a poem that I wrote that really was the inspiration. Well, the inspiration started off with these words: show me, help me, teach me, love me. So there were just these words, and I thought, okay, so then I wrote a poem, and in the meantime, with those words, I had written the music. And after I did the music, I filled in all the parts that I wanted for the poem. So that one is not here. You want to go to YouTube. Yep. Okay. And you want to move down. Right here where the flower is, right here. Inspirational. And that's the other thing I love, is I love inspirational music that's full of feeling and expression. Okay, so here is the poem. So this is for piano and flute. Show me, let me speak into the mic when I do this. Show me how the beauty of each day sings through the window, and how the world awakes in quiet kindness, lifting its face to meet the light. Teach me how love is laced in fingertips that tie shoelaces, brush away tired tears, and hold without hesitation. Show me the rhythm of patience, how it flows in the breath of listening, and the lull between words, louder than sound ever could. Help me find the meaning in small things, the untied ribbons of childhood laughter, the sacred place between holding on and letting go. Show me the way you offer without asking, how your heart is a lantern in my night, how love is the echo of footsteps that never walk away. So we can start the room. It should be turned on, the sound. Yeah, I think you have to go back to the screen to get the sound. So I think it starts up pretty quickly. like at one of the settings down here. Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, if you make it small, and then we can check the sound. Oh, okay, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, there you go. cards if you'd like to take one of my cards. I'm going to put them out on the corner, on the counter over here. And if you have any questions, but I would appreciate if you followed me on SoundCloud, well, Spotify. I have things on Spotify, but YouTube. And you can see more of my videos. But anyway, thank you very much for your wonderful audience.
Sick. Guys, one more time for Jennifer Jones. Something that stuck out to me besides just like the playful yet relaxing nature of her music, which I love and you definitely should give her a follow for, when she talked about like the people in the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance that she remembers as being influential. And I remember those people too, you know, like I've been following you guys on social media. I've been like a Fitchburg gal for a while, like Ellen, there's Helen, there's Sally, there's Sweet Paula who comes to a lot of these. Like, there's so many names that you might not know and so many people out there like doing the work. And there's no reason you guys can't be the people doing the work. So I just want to like remind you that like mics are easy to put together, communities are easy to find when you kind of have a little basis of what your standards are. Look around this room, know that your people here are your friends. And yeah, get ready for some more open mic bullshit. Guys, give it one more time for Jennifer. So when we're talking about like people who like inspire us to be better, it's kind of synonymous with me with our first open micer of the night. May I bring my beautiful son up here, my Carolyn. Guys, give it up for Carolyn, please.
So thank you. Today is Sunday. Everybody knows that, and it's also a very special Sunday because September 21st, 2025 is Sun Day, as in our sun. People around the world and across the country today are celebrating the power of the sun. We're also celebrating the great news that we know how to solve our climate problem. The clean energy revolution is here. Solar and wind power have moved from being nice but expensive to being the cheapest form of power on the planet when combined with battery storage. We need to celebrate that loudly because fossil fuel interests continue to fund doubt and denial campaigns. We now know they're also funding many of the campaigns that are stoking hate and division in our country. They want us to fight with each other so we don't mobilize to ensure that we use our collective power to create the healthier and safer futures we all want. What we're lacking now is just political will. Yesterday's New York Times said Sunday comes as the Trump administration and the Republican-controlled Congress have moved to eliminate tax credits for electric vehicles, heat pumps, and solar power, repealed funding for programs like Solar for All, which aim to make solar energy available to low-income households, worked to throttle the offshore wind industry, canceling wind farms mid-construction. At the same time, this administration is promoting the expanded development and use of oil, gas, and coal, the burning of which is heating the planet. It's interesting because a vast majority of Americans, including more than 3/4 of the Republicans that were surveyed by the Pew Research Center in October 2024, supported giving tax credits to Americans to improve their homes' energy efficiency. A similar amount supported requiring fossil fuel companies to seal methane breaks from oil wells. The current administration doesn't seem to care what the vast majority of Americans want. They are pandering to the big money fossil fuel interests who paid to get them elected. The same ones willing to sacrifice human life to maximize profit as they burn the very last bits of their buried assets. I'm celebrating Sunday with you by sharing a message from the sun. Technically, I'm sharing a message from a children's book that uses the sun as the narrator. I recommend this book to anyone of any age who wants to better understand our present situation. The beautiful images with text written by a longtime MIT professor is a fabulous use of combining art and sciences to help us think about a vision for our future. Currently, we are starting to organize a combined New View Communities Arts and Environmental Stewards cohort with an art and science focus, which we expect to launch in late October. Let me know if you'd like more information about there. I hope many of you will like to join us in that. Anyways, in Buried Sunlight, we meet the sun and learn that fossil fuels are tiny plants that long ago captured the energy of the sun. Like the dinosaurs, they were locked below the Earth's crust. We learn how humans learn how to burn these fossils for energy, which has powered our world, and about how this produces chemicals which build up in our atmosphere, forming a blanket. This little blanket was good at first, but now it's getting too warm. The sun tells us there are things we can do to help. I'll let our sun take it from here. I am your sun, your golden star. My energy gives light and life to your tiny earth. Billions of tons of fossil fuels, my sunlight energy, still lie locked deep inside the vaults of Earth. If you burn them up, Earth's blanket will grow thicker and thicker. Your Earth will warm so much it will change in ways that no one can predict for sure, but it will change. A quick side note from me, in the 10 years since this book was written, we've experienced many of those bad changes that the scientists had predicted, some of them worse than expected and sooner than expected. But anyways, back to the sun. Will you humans keep burning more and more fossil fuels every year and risk the changes that will bring? Or will you work together to use my ancient sunlight more slowly, find other sources of energy, and invent ways to thin the blanket? The choice is yours. And thanks for listening to my Sunday sermon.
Guys, one more time for Carolyn, please. It's like weird to say because I didn't meet Carolyn until I was in my 30s. But yeah, you guys should care about the earth. Who knew? If you want to learn more about that, talk to Carolyn. Literally in terms of like local stuff that you can do, the environmental and artist cohort that's going to begin on October 28th is going to be a really good way locally to kind of like see what's going on. And again, it all starts with like locally. We can all definitely argue about what we each can individually do, but as a collective, it's silly to think that there's nothing we can do. Anywho, next up on the Openest Mic is one of my favorite local rappers. Guys, give it up for Prozac.
What's up? Shout out to Canvas, Coff33 Corp, everything. We all needed a creative space where we could do this. It's pretty nice in here, so. Yeah, we can get started. Prozac EP is my debut EP as a solo artist. That's 11/7/2025, all platforms. I'm pretty excited about it, so. Snap back, all black, on the top of Prozac. Get quitted with the facts, confidence and intuition. Live, recap, relax, blunts fat, lemon pack, blaze with wax. High to the max around here, loyalty ain't asked. We just got it, bitch, I'm on it. Tapped and fucked up, never down, just crush nugs. Feel my flow flood, bruh, it's one love. I listen to rap like it's Bible facts. It attracts my existence, drink to distract, but my mind lags on this track. Ooh, look at that ass, there's no bell, be the best, be last. Seeing good with half a glass, still stay crass. Bitch, I blast when you're Zach. Shit, don't feel real, it feels surreal. You safe with me behind the wheel. I lay low, my front door face blow. My bitch, you Mac, you hating, trying to steal my meal. Bitch, this ain't an act, it's fact. You playing, trying to seal the deal with no appeal. 2020 vision, looking back. Fuck my past, look within, just relax. I'm lit off gin, I lick your skin. Take your hurt to the max, my vision, see through division. When I'm smacked, the veil is thin. I begin to sink in like a needle on wax. Plays then rap, I question exit in what I exist in. Listen, I showed up to the pack, showed him how to blast, showed him how to stun. Drew what's in the blunt, shot the handy glass, straight to the face, like everything's at stake. Top shelf, I treat my lungs, but don't tell me to relax, love my sound. Don't care how you react, it's Prozac, flow and facts. Realize you above, there's no end to the heights. Feel lost, but feeling alright. Clarity we shall find, stay on the grind. Ignore the fakes, ignore the blind. Smelling dumb on their face, staying behind. Prozac snatches, says it's mine once crime, but realize there are blessings to be retrieved. Wrote this song cause I believe I'm going hard, dual tongue gun, always on guard, throwing it 100 yards, right on my black for the graveyard. Snap back, all black, on the top of Prozac. Get quitted with the facts, confidence and intuition. Live, recap, relax, blunts fat, lemon back, blaze with wax. High to the max around here, loyalty ain't asked. We just got it, bitch, I'm on it. Tapped and fucked up, never down, just crush nugs. Feel my flow, bruh, it's one love. Snap back, all black, on the top of Prozac. Get quitted with the facts, confidence and intuition. Live, recap, relax, blunts fat, lemon pack, blaze with wax. High to the max around here, loyalty ain't asked. We just got it, bitch, I'm on it. Tapped and fucked up, never down, just crush nugs. Feel my flow, bruh, it's one love. And that's the first one. I appreciate it, thank you. Prozac rap on Instagram. You can start this one over, by the way. You're good. Prozac rap on Instagram. A lot to be coming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. Just look out for the name Prozac. King Cap rap, make Zach blast my the reinforcement on his Beast Coast forecast. Rebirth, I crawled up through the hatch with a tequila flask, finna crack jokes and live fucking fast. Gold at last, known it's time for the show. If you get it on your own, a better portrait to show. All you gotta do is save you go. They be like, do a charade, we will get you laid, drugged out, private planes on the dotted line. Get in this lane, they love, I'm insane. Don't wanna cry, control tears, but fuck it, top gear, no fear. Slice my neck with this blade. My past was badass and this drop is fat. Always better than the last. My flow smacks, yo, no cocaine. Just an abusive bipolar, get so brain. Lazy to society, they say I'm not sane. Take these pills, fuck your pain. Don't teach me where I need to be. I know my energy and towards you, it's a very clear fuck you. Don't fuck with me, this metaphysical alchemy today. I have a feeling that I never felt. Even though I used to be heavy with LSD and I've explored hell. I freed me from mental slavery, smoking to them Rosses with Alan Watts and Terrence McKenna. And my girl know all my secrets, still love me like holy shit. Really? Answer's always yes. For you I want the best. Sexy tactics, motherly instinct, strong with a hard love and heart. My art will show any foes get beat by my bros or my flows or my ghosts. I'm not the goat, but someone tells me so. I go, 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 so that I can blow so fucking hot. I'll explode, fucking explode. Boom, baby girl, this for me, but this for you. Gold at last, know it's time for the show. If you get it on your own, a better parade is shown. All you gotta do is say if you go. Sign the dotted line, get in this lane. Blow, top gear, no fear. Slice my neck with this blade. Go, clear that it's time to prove. Never made a false move. Protected, so I groove. Got the stethoscope, I'm crouching by the safe. I'm cracking the code to get the cake and drive the wraith. It's Prozac, bitch, this shit is made. Won't give up this life, don't offer a trade. Every dreamer I meet is strong, we all top grade. It's blunts, no bond, King Kong. Got bruises on my chest, I'ma live long, but my love is headache. I go so hard that diamonds couldn't cut it, but a diamond we shall live in. For my brother Zion, we shall give him heaven, but hell, that's what we live in. Sin for the right beginning, stun for the revolution. Stay high for fucks that are not given. Stiffen up, dream hard, stay up like an erection. Not kinda, sort of, that's a fucking order. Be bigger than a king, prove with the win. And that's that. Prozac EP 11/7. Prozac from North Central Mass. Prozac, Prozac, Prozac. And that's it. Thank you.
Guys, I think that was Prozac. Give it up one more time. I'm like guys, I'm so defensive sometimes. When he was like, these blunts are fat, I was like, don't body shame those blunts. They're thick. Anywho, I also just want to say, like, quick shout out, just like totally unrelated to Prozac, but just like happen to be bringing it up right now. I know that like sometimes you're sitting in the seat because like your partner or like your friend or like your person was like, no, come to the open mic. And I just want to thank everybody who's here, who's not going to spend 5 minutes or 2 songs on the mic. Give it up for everybody who's not on stage. Give it up for these people. These are the friends that we talk to. These are introverted friends. These are the people who just like want to have a good time and don't need it to be all about them. And they're like the unsung heroes of the mic world. And I just want you guys to know, fucking thank you. Fucking thank you. Because otherwise this is totally insane. If there's no audience, totally insane and embarrassing. So again, no names mentioned, Sarah. But everybody, thank you so much. Okay, so like the thing about having this here, right, is I could sit here and like rant about every time I've been drunk at Destarè, or I could like talk about like a really beautiful afternoon painting this side street. But instead of talking about that, I'm gonna invite the woman that did that with me, Shara Osgood and Laura. Come on up here. Guys, give it up for Shara and Laura.
Hello. I think we have 2 microphones here. I obviously have to lower this one.
You could just use the lower one, and I could use the higher one.
Is the other one working?
I think they're
I just messed this
yeah.
up. I don't know what I
Oh,
did.
here.
Is this one on?
Yep,
Yeah.
they're both
okay,
on.
great.
Here, this is fine.
So,
Give me a second.
this is my daughter, Laura.
Hello.
She and I collaborated on writing this poem, and we're going to share it for you together.
So, What She Weaves by Laura Sage and Shara Bliss. Weaver, weaving, woven, spinning story, spinning song, pulling words from her tongue, strands of starlight she has spun. Weaver, weaving, woven.
Righting wrong, writing rules, precious stories kept like jewels, mills of moments stored in spools.
Weaver, weaving, woven, painting arcs, painting details, remnants of mournful wails, rags of ruin torn from tales. Weaver, weaving, woven,
braiding many into one, untamed rumpus has begun, wefts of wilding dried and hung.
Weaver, weaving, woven, forging answer, forging key, unlocking mystery, sparks of secret she set free. Weaver, weaving, woven,
chanting verse, chanting themes, glistening gossamer beams, mists of magic distilled in dreams.
Weaver, weaving, woven, planting will, plant unstable, essence of legend's table, roots of rhythm ground from fable, weaver, weaving, woven,
working myth, working flow, searching through dead shadow, waves of wisdom steeped in sorrow,
weaver, weaving, woven.
So the next one is very short. It's called The World on Fire, Part 1 and Part 2. The heat is sweltering, worldview is melting into what is wholly inconceivable. On second thought, it is a fire and brimstone reality. The life cycle of a tsetse fly is fleeting, worlds of wonder and mystery to discover. Is it ever time to spread your wings and fly on another path to uncertain divinity? Fire in my belly feeds my soul and spurs me onward. And let's see if I can find this other one. Where did I put it? And this one's a pantoum, for those of you who know. Juggling projects and people in lyrical waves, filing expanding colors into origami crates before they crumble and fall away. Juggling projects and people in lyrical waves, dancing on the cellophane surface of my days before they crumble and fall away. Forgotten chores unraveled, disheveled, dancing on the cellophane surface of my days, trying to gain traction among the chatter. Forgotten chores unraveled, disheveling, until tomorrow's list begins, trying to gain traction amongst the chatter, filing expanding colors into origami crates until tomorrow's list begins, feeling the pressure of so much to do. And actually, I've got one more that is not mine, but is very relevant. So hold on, let me see. Let me get that one. Oh, I know where it is. This is by Lizette Murphy. Our grass is gated so we can get in, but it can't get out. And though our grass is surrounded by loudness and watched by the houseless, our grass is mostly lonely and mowed monthly on retainer. We pay for our grass, but the lawn isn't locked, you see, so I'm constantly clocking how much this lot would be worth to a real city person more starved for nature. And here I am, sweating outside 45 strangers' window glass, scrolling my phone, telling me, girl, you need to go touch some grass. And the last one, just because it feels relevant. What sparks joy? What sparks joy in the darkest hours? I search for that spark, my one voice in the dark, reaching out across time and space to hear the harmonic surge of many voices rising up and out, joined as one, to know that I am not alone in my despair. Voices rising up from the ashes and decay, voices screaming out to the numb and the blind, a scaffold of support, helping hands, so many hands, reaching out from the depths of the ocean, cave, pit of destruction, desolation, desolation. When the form no longer fits, we must burn the meat suit and rise from the ashes, creating our own fire and sparking the scream that wakes us from nightmare. And every morning that I wake up is a chance to try again. What sparks joy? That tiny crack is a sign of being broken, is also where the light gets in that can fuel 1,000 rainbows, the beauty after the storm, the phoenix rising from the ashes into new possibilities.
One more time for Shara and Laura, please. Okay, so number one, you guys know I have a weakness for mom-daughter stuff. My mom's dead, whatever, that was awesome. Also, like, I don't know, you guys know I like weird shit on the mic, right? And you know I want different shit on the mic. So I'm gonna say that that counts as a new thing on the mic. I don't think that that was a poem or spoken word. I think that that was a spell. Do you guys agree? That felt like a spell to me. So thank you for the first spell on the Openest Mic. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh, Oh my God. So a poet I fucking like. A poet whose name I'm very excited to see on this list, Michael McAfee. Come on up, my friend. Guys, give it up for Michael.
That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Okay, this is a newest poem. Finished it on Friday. It's called Rhythm. From hoofbeats roaring o'er the land as horses vied to take first place by running at a steady pace, a sport since history began. Now, hear the ticking of the gears assembled in a factory for Waltham's timepiece company in times gone by some 100 years. And followed not long after by the chugging of a new machine that ran on fuels like kerosene and moved the boats beneath the sky, with movement linked to beats in time and repetitions made sublime. This chain of oscillating sound, these sequences of incident, led, increment by increment, to drum beats backing up James Brown. Clyde Stubblefield's amazing licks on Funky Drummer, Loose and Free, a hit from 1970 that came down like a ton of bricks. With syncopated drum attacks, Clyde laid it down. When he was done, it wasn't long till it was one of history's most sampled tracks. A sound like factories and trains, stripped down till just the beat remains. And there it is, the human drive to find a pattern, set a pace for everything, a time and place, like honeybees within the hive. As if all life could fit within the tempo of the working song that pushes all the world along like waves that dance upon the skin. So can you hear what's going down? In step to match the primal throb and to join the others in the mob from street to street and town to town. Just get yourself into the groove and move and move and move and move. Thank you. All right, this one I wrote last year. It's called Discourse. After some time researching, we are ready to present our findings. Much effort was invested to gain entry to various assemblies, stock market floors, workout rooms, sessions of Congress, college lectures, and in all cases, we were forced to conclude that people believe their comments are important. At first, we could not believe it, but after the shock faded, we had to accept this was no fantasy. Rather, some sort of hard code in the human design that somehow people had unswerving faith that their annotations to existing information made things easier to understand. But, and this is of staggering importance, they were not looking to make lasting changes and seemed baffled at the concept of doing so. All that was desired was for others to comment in turn. We have no explanation. How could the commenting be all? Not the effects, not the implications, not even the possibility of misstatements, only to give and receive comments. We don't know what to make of it. However, rest assured, as soon as we have come to a proper conclusion as to why this should be so, we will instantly issue a new statement, a progress report, if you will, attach it to this codicil, and spread the news far and wide so that all can be satisfied that we have done the work we set out to do. Thank you.
Guys, one more time for Michael, please. I seriously feel like he overheard my conversation about arguing on the Facebook comments. If you look up my name in discussing Fitchburg now, it's a fucking bloodbath and I don't care. Anywho, next up on the Openest Mic is somebody with a much gentler soul than mine. Grateful Fred, please come on up.
That's good. Well, Tyler's getting me set up here. Nice digs, huh? Yeah. Shout out to Coff33 Corp for all they do. Set? Yeah, I've got this one's by Jackson Browne, one of my favorite Jackson Browne songs. I've been out walking. I don't do that much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot of all the things that I forgot to do. And all the times I had the chance to. I've been a rambler, no longer a gambler these days. These days I seem to think about how all the changes came about my ways. And I wonder if I'll see another highway. You see, I had a lover. I don't think I'll risk another these days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, well, it's just that I've been losing for so long. So I quit all my scheming. I don't do that much dreaming these days. These days I sit on cornerstones and count the time in quarter tones till 10. Don't confront me with my failures. I have not forgotten them. So I guess I'll just keep moving. Things are bound to be improving these days. Yeah, one of these days. Oh, thanks. This one's by Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter, my favorite composers. Hang on. the days when the ox fall down, pick up the yoke and plow the fields around. Gone are the days when the lady said, please, gentle Jack Jones, won't you come on to me? Brown-eyed women, red grenadine, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain a-pouring down. Looks like the old man is getting on. 1920 when he stepped to the bar, drank to the dregs of the whiskey jar. 1930 when the wall caved in, he made his way selling red-eyed gin. Brown-eyed women, red grenadine, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain a-pouring down. Looks like the old man is getting on. Delilah Jones was the mother of twins. 2 times over the rest were sins. Raised 8 boys, only I turned bad. Didn't get the lickings the other ones had. Brown-eyed women, red grenadine, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain a-pouring down. Looks like the old man is getting on. Tumble down shack in Bigfoot County, it snowed so hard the roof caved in. Delilah Jones went to meet her God. The old man never was the same again. Daddy made whiskey and he made it well. Cost $2, it burned like hell. I cut hickory for to fire the still. Just drown a bottle and you're ready to kill. Brown-eyed women, red grenadine, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain a-pouring down. Looks like the old man is getting on. Gone are the days when the ox fall down, take up the yoke and plow the fields around. Gone are the days when the lady said, please, gentle Jack Jones, won't you come on to me? Brown-eyed women, red grenadine, the bottle was dusty, but the liquor was clean. Sound of the thunder with the rain a-pouring down. Looks like the old man is getting on. And it looks like the old man is getting on.
Guys, one more time for Fred, please. Actually, yeah, so if we have Fred and Carolyn here, and we have Stella and Sue there, that's every Grateful Dead fan in my life who has made a convincing argument. Good job, guys, woo! Oh my God, you guys know I love nothing more than Tyler. Give it up for Tyler. He's my 3rd favorite MILF, no comment. Next up on the mic is a new name. Navi David, come on up to the mic, please. Give it up.
Hello. My name is Navi, and today I'll be reading an original piece. I am a transgender person living in the United States under an increasingly tyrannical government. And like many Americans, I've been facing different kinds of instability this year. This has included economic hardship, job loss, housing instability, food insecurity, and more. One thing that has not wavered, though, is my vision for our future. So this poem is inspired by that. I'm learning to let go. I'm learning to give in but not give up, surrendering to the flow. What is meant for you cannot miss. I have built trust within myself, replacing each foundational brick by brick, not to put up walls, but to foster a safe home for this heart, one that is worthy of love and feeling fought for. Spotted bruises on my feet from the holes in my shoes, but my soul can never be worn out. If anything, this experience has fanned the flame, reignited my passion to become the change I want to see in this world. Constantly hungry, but not for food, hungry for justice within these systems that have kept so many painfully oppressed. Hungry for change. Change, couldn't we all use a bit more of that right now? Softness is strength in a world that wants to harden your heart. Have we become so cold and calcified that we can no longer do even the simple kindness of seeing one another, of sharing empathy for one another? How can we sit at breakfast scrolling with phones in our hands while there are mothers facing hunger in Sudan, good people on our streets getting pulled into vans by some unbadged ICE agents pretending to work for the man, or being labeled a predator just because you're trans? If you are privileged enough to think you might have this conversation with your grandkids one day, what side will you be on when it was us versus they? When babies were being intentionally slaughtered in Gaza, or when the world turned its back on Ukraine? This is not an attempt to get anyone to switch sides. This is me telling you there has been a change in the tides. It is the age of equity, and it is time for the people to rise. Hope is a drop in a lake whose ripples spread throughout time and space. Hope, a feeling inside that most of us have lost touch with, but something that I refuse to let them take. Hope, which I am experiencing for the first time, is almost cruel to give. Hope is a four-letter word like my name, N-A-V. I remember it because we are both forces to be reckoned with. With the dawn of the internet, the power of the people cannot be hidden nor contained. Our voices will not be silenced because our power remains. The world is waking up, and I am here to tell you there is a different way, a path of healing rather than disdain. The illusion is breaking. We are releasing from the chains of these old belief systems. I will not let these people die in vain. I fight for a future, not in separation, but solidarity. So let's make this land free and show them our brave. I refuse to give in to the hate, the vile rhetoric breeding mistrust. I've looked beyond the veil, and my truth is love. One day, we the people stood up together and said, enough is enough. Thank you.
Hey, new rule for the Openest Mic. If you make me cry, you have to do two so I can pull it together. Thank you so much. Yeah, remember, at the end of the day, your life experience isn't you, it's the people you're beholden to as well. So if you don't think about those people, your life is kind of empty. Anyway, I love poetry. One more time, guys. Ooh. Ooh, my favorite three letters are on the mic. R-A-P. Dennis Victor, come on up to the mic, guys. Give it up for Dennis Victor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dennis. I'm very nervous. It's a new audience. I did my album in Spanish, but I did this specific song, and I started out of my mind, but then I went directly to the Bible, and I took the words out of the Bible and try to do like I want to honor God in my album, and I did this song. It's like a gospel. I touched so much life in Spanish that I had to do it in English, and here we go. I hope you enjoy it.
In the name of Father, Son,
Can you start again?
and Holy Spirit, I humbly, in the name of
Father, Son. No way.
in the name of
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I humbly ask you to cover me with your mantle. In this world that's on fire, give me the virtue to walk straight under your light. For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it withereth the grass, and the flower there falleth in the grace of the fashion of the perishes. Also shall the rich man fade away in his ways. Blessed is the man that endured the temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridles not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain, pure religion, and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in the affliction. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for your possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to your loving kindness. According unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sins. For I acknowledge my transgressions and my sins ever before. Against you only I have sinned, and done this evil in the sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when the judges. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desires truth in the inward part, and in the hidden part. Thou shalt make me to know wisdom, purge me with hyssop, and thou shalt be clean. Wash me, I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for your possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Entering into straight gate, 'cause wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there'll be which go in, because straight is the gate and narrow which leadeth to the life, and few there'll be to find it from dark to light. Dennis Victor, Dennis Vic, Dennis Victor. In the name of Father and Holy Spirit, God bless you all. In the name of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the only one I got in Spanish. I got in English. I'm sorry, I got 11 more in Spanish, but okay, I'm gonna put one more. Then it's called "My Beautiful Lady." It's like a blues, and it's in Spanish, but it's "Mi Bella Dama." So I'm gonna. You found it already? No? Okay. Okay, this is my beautiful lady. I did this in honor of my grandfather. He used to say that my last name is Flores, flowers. So he used to say that the flowers are the maximum expression of love. So that's why I did this song in honor of him. Okay. Te pienso todo el día, no te lo voy a negar. Al dormir los ojos no logro cerrar. Mi mente no me deja de navegar. Y sin ti no puedo arrancar, me cuesta tanto enfocar. Después de ti ninguna sin duda, te quisiera desnuda, bien ruda, pelúa picua, depilada, con tu flow que no caduca y opaca. Mi bella dama, sin importar panorama, ese amor eterno es mi única trama. Te llamo mi fuego porque eres mi única llama. En la letra me dice el machín, ponte cómoda como en un love machine. Sábanas de seda y de satín, bien brillosa y elegante como de magazine. Estar contigo, si eso es lo que quieres, por las costas, viendo los placeres de los atardeceres. Una caja de Ferrero Rocher, o una rosa, un claveral con red. Mi bella dama, sin importar el panorama, ese amor eterno es mi única trama. Te llamo mi fuego porque eres mi única llama. Denis Víctor el Lagartuz, la máxima interpretación de la oscuridad a la luz. We end with a slow tone. Thank you very much.
Guys, one more time for Dennis Victor. Oh, it was such a vibe. Such a vibe. Just like coincidentally bringing up after that, like we're at a community space, right? So this community space needs community, which means that if you're a performer, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, there are people who run this space like Derek or Edgar, who you could talk to about using this space to bring your own message of whatever the fuck you want, really. Guys, give it up for Coffee Corp one more time for letting us use this space. I want to just apologize for this joke in advance. It's awful. For next up on the mic, I don't want a cool Lauren. I want a Lauren Cooler on the mic. Guys, give it up for Lauren Cooler.
Sure. we've got some original songs. This one's called Cry Baby.
Crocodile tears keep on falling lately. Swear I didn't used to be a cry baby. Think I can be good if someone would make me. I swear, I swear. Am I a dead man? Are you the ship of dreams? I wanna feel love as seen on TV. I've got no notion of how it's supposed to be. I need a chaperone, someone to intervene. Once upon a time I let myself believe I truly had it in me, but I'm making my peace. Who gets what isn't up to me, so I dream, I dream. Am I a lost boy, flying away the night, taking safe harbors in stolen lullabies? Don't want these growing pains that tell me I'm alive. It isn't worth the salt, it isn't worth the price. I'm crawling forward on my hands and knees. I'm searching for a forever reprieve. Crocodile tears keep on falling lately. I swear I didn't used to be a cry baby. And this is one I wrote recently. It's called Golden. I spilled coffee all over my center console, 'cause I really needed a hand to hold. I swear I never had a problem with keeping my eye on the road. Don't wanna blame you, but honey, you're so golden. Won't let you slip right through the cracks. Hold on to me. I tell you, this feeling cannot last. All the pain and bullshit that this world may put us through. There's no quick fix, but a lifetime of work that ain't really work if it's loving you. Now I'm saying prayers to a God I don't hear. My ribcage is shattering under your ear. I'm scared to show my hand. like a quarry, but it's pretty from up there. It's so golden, won't let you slip right through the cracks. Hold on to me, I tell you this feeling can't outlast. A scar of a song haunting the dawn as the embers glow from the cradle of youth to the rocking chair stoop. I never did dare to dream of growing old until golden won't let you slip right through the cracks. Hold on to me, I tell you this feeling can't outlast. Golden glitter down silted stream, I'll hold on to you if you hold on to me.
Am I all right to unplug?
What's your social media?
I don't have one,
Are you
sorry.
shitting me? Where
Not
are you
yet.
gigging next?
I'm not sure yet.
Are you shitting
I'm
me?
just starting. This is my first open mic.
Are you shitting me? That was their first open mic. Okay, so whenever I'm on my phone at an Openest Mic, it's for Openest Mic related things. So like people texting me things like, this song is how my heart feels right now, or this is going to be something I see in Boston in 5 years. Like that's all like live in the moment. Holy shit, I can't stress enough how much people want good entertainment, my friend. Guys, one more time from the heart for Lauren. Holy shit, that was nice. So everybody look around the room. In 5 years, and people are like, oh, Lauren Cooler, I was there the first time they played Fitchburg. They weren't, we were. Anywho, next up on this mic is one of those like low-key activists who's trying to change the world in his local habitat. Give it up for Alan Finnegan.
Wasn't that great? Well, I mean, I'm afraid to follow that. Okay. These are kind of short. The first one is, it's called Fade Tonight, but I'm going to give you a little background. There was a movie many moons ago called Fade to Black, and it was about a stagehand in Hollywood that was losing it. He was going mad, and he would murder different actors and people behind the scenes in characters that he portrayed that were famous. And it was his dissolving into madness. So I don't know. This came after I saw the movie, and it's called Fade Tonight. Fade tonight, delirium's face of fortitude. Silence walks a lonely path of passion and despair, caught in the web of hardy nothingness. The seeds of time are rare. Stillborn, so incessant, nighttime bleak, forsaken lass, quivering, weeping child, hard like swords of steel, cutting deep, surreal. Fade tonight, burning light, river of life, darkness never cares. This next one's called The Wayfarer. I think I wrote this when I was a young buck. I looked at all those Christmas trees and how they each were glowing. Seems like I'm the only one who sees the north wind blowing. I have no real ties to bind me, and no love to miss me sadly. It's been so long since I've been free. I guess I hack it badly. I miss those days of giving. There's no one in sight. Move on and start on living. Lord, it's lonely every night. I know that highway's waiting. I've been down that road before. In my mind's map, it's there baiting. No use staying anymore. Someday maybe I'll be back when things may settle down. Now I feel the need to pack and become a Californian clown. So this next one, 10 years ago, this past January, my mother crossed over. And she was a religious woman. She was a wonderful woman, my mom. So I wrote this 3 days before she crossed. And this is Laura, this is for you. Because I know how, okay? It's called Upon the Journey's End. My darkest hour is drawing near, hiding in the shadows that I fear. And death shall come to take you soon, to carry you, dear mama, far beyond that gilded moon, far across the universe, through heaven's gate, to the promised land where God awaits. And there upon the journey's end, hold you in his loving arms again. Oh, dear mama, I wish you didn't have to go. I will miss you so. I love you more than anything. And there find comfort in that I know, when you and I will meet again upon the journey's end, where God awaits through heaven's gate, in that promised land far across the universe, in the comfort of his loving hand. Upon the journey's end, upon the journey's end. Until then, when you hold me in your loving arms again. Oh, dear mama, I will miss you so. And how I love you so. Thank you.
One more time for Alan. Something that I also want to, brag about how Alan is nice and about how great this community is. We're nearing the 1-year anniversary of my mom's death, and Alan was like, "Yo, is it cool if I say some sad poetry about dead moms?" And it was just really nice. I don't have to give a trigger warning. We all are just kind of considerate of one another, and as we come to more of these, we can be more so. So give it up for Alan, for him as a poet, him as a person. We appreciate the kindness. I will say also, unfortunately for you guys, I do run this mic, and because of that, real quick, I have a thing on Thursday. It's this Beals thing at the Winchendon Library, and I have a poem that's up for an award or whatever. So I'm gonna practice real quick, because if we're all in that sad dead mom vibe, I got something for you. My mom would have found that funny. I'm not being awful. My youth spent on shorelines of every type. It only mattered that we played near where land met water. My 12th birthday, making sandcastles, 12 of them. Each castle is a year. We watch them break down in the surf. Your voice, rich with surreptitious cigarettes, is telling me that this is a great symbol. You're calling me a poet of action, and I'm believing you. Your words are a spell that turns my potential into magic, blank biological canvas, generational graffiti, unerased but continued in pastels, softer. We go to the city and still find the sea, treats in hand, hot cocoa warming our cold noses. It's the turn of the century, it's the millennium. Everyone we know is home, too nervous for travel, too apprehensive to live life. You're scared too. You don't make it my problem. The wind is whipping our hair from under our hats as you turn to look seriously at me. We're almost never serious, so I listen closely. When we get home, your aunt has a bathtub full of water. She thinks if Y2K hits, this is going to help. You exhale, and I realize you're only trying to be serious. There's a kind of love so deep between people that even their most subtle breath is a bullhorn. I don't think her bathtub is going to make a difference, but she's really freaked out. When we go in, don't say anything about it, okay? The train ride is uneventful. In deference to everyone else's worry, you've made sure we're home before midnight. Hugs when we arrive make me feel brave, returning explorer from an Arctic exploration. We all count down, maybe to our oblivion. The nation holds its breath, but this is only another moment, as sacred and mundane as any other. My mother leaves the room. I follow her to the bathroom, linger at the open door. She rolls up her bedazzled sleeve, sinks her arm into the lukewarm water, takes out the plug. Immediately, the water starts to drain. My mother doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to, just walks by and returns to the party, ever ready to move past fear and into celebration. I'm older now than she was then, swimming with uneasy fins through the vast oceans of future without her, but feeling still, anywhere she is, where land meets water. Thank you. All right, so when I said Tyler was my favorite MILF, it was because the shirt says, "Man, I love frogs." And when I say that the next poet is my favorite MILF, I mean a mother I would like to friend. Christy Beckwith, come on up to the mic, guys. Give it up for Christy.
All right. How's everybody tonight? Good. All right, I'm just going to dive right in. I have 4 poems for you. This is a poem after Fannie Howe called "I Won't Be Able to Write Home from the Grave." I won't be able to write from the grave, so let me confess, my journal entries are depressing. The worst of my worlds placed in a paper jail, melted bullet ink pinched from the end of my pointer finger. I don't know half the people I wrote about. I don't recognize who I was then, and that is the point. Journaling taught me that time changes all wounds, often by crowding them out with more pressing issues. This poem was supposed to be about what I love, so I'll tell you. My grandmother's hands, a high-top shoe, the smell of burning leaves in October, the angels I met in my deepest need, white bark peeling off birch trees, a sky that doesn't betray my plans, the way my lips felt the day after our first kiss, lightning. All right, this one's a snarky one. So this bitch bullied me a little bit in school and sent me a friend request on Facebook. My enemy sends me a friend request. When I see the familiar name on my screen, it hits me like her fists did 30 years ago. They landed multiple blows into my stomach. The brick of our schoolyard walls soulless as the faded ginger of her hair. My first mistake was hitting play without taking my stepdad's porno out. My eyes watched the star with the same name as her gyrating into the privates of another woman. My second mistake was telling her what the lesbian with her name did. Her parents must have loved their child named after a cloudless sky, a weather pattern that makes you feel guilty when there's too much work to enjoy it. The request feels like an invasion, a minefield of all the years I didn't have to think about her stupid face, and the time I slapped it, and how I was never sorry. Okay, next one is called True Story of a Lost and Found. My mother has this picture of me napping in a wooden toy box in metallic blue tights. I'm surrounded by my bedtime Care Bear, my pretty ballerina, Raggedy Ann, and a troop of naked Barbies. Somewhere below me, my brother's Metallica tape is lodged in the back of my Teddy Ruxpin. I awake one night on an impulse to leave. I don't know why. Curiosity, stupidity. I pack the essentials, clean underwear, socks, and my favorite action figure. She-Ra does not go gently into that good bag. She rustles the plastic. The noise wakes my brother. He commands me to go back to bed. I thought I wanted to understand the magic of a streetlight stabbing the dark. But in this moment, being afraid of my brother protects me. I'm too young to understand reverence for a savior, but not too old to lose one. Outside our window, the crickets trill to the bruised night sky. I will find other ways to run. All right. So we'll finish off with another snarky one. In lieu of the shame between my legs that touched since grade school, of swimwear decidedly unrevealing, of invisible spaghetti pose to amplify the cheekbones, to sexualize the face, in lieu of quitting carbs for the 400th time, the guilt of women with an appetite, drowning the hydroxycut with bottles of liquid nothing. The doctor warning my fat body from the danger of too much. By the looks of it, I must have never tried denying myself. By the looks of it, I must not own a mirror. By looks, my service to society is to hide behind fluff, frill, and layers of personality. In lieu of being a fantasy, the manic dream girl of midlife perversion, of self-control, of the one thing men value more than life, more than their mothers, premarital chastity. I mean, a warm body that sucks and fucks and shuts the fuck up. In lieu of the violence of hating 1 square inch of this God's holy flesh, I fuck with intention, with reflection.
One more time for Christy. I'm like, what t-shirt design goes with sucks and fucks and shuts the fuck up? I don't know, but you might see it at the next Openest Mic. So I guess like even more exciting than a new name on the list is a new practice next to their name. I think something really, really cool about the Openest Mic is that most of you guys wear at least like 50 fucking hats. It's crazy how talented this room is. I can't stress enough how much like follow each other on social media, talk to each other, be weird, I'm weird. We're all here because like I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool? So obviously everybody's a little comfortable with making it a little weird. So I can't stress enough how much you should just get out of your comfort zone. To that end, Trisha Kylie coming up with poetry next to her name. Trisha, are you still here? Can somebody go outside and yell the name Trisha? Can we give it up for Sarah for going outside and yelling? As she's doing that, I really want to stress that this place is a place that offers a membership. It offers rental of the space for things like birthday parties, things like open mics. I'd love not to be, you know, the only Openest Mic on Main Street on a Sunday night, so please feel more than free. We don't have one. Guys, moment of silence for Trisha. She's a really funny comedian. She's a really good poet, I'm sure. Anywho, next up on the mic. So next up on the mic is our feature, Ricardo Barros. As he's setting up, would Yo Daddy Doe like to come up for a second? If you guys want to give it up for the man who set up this space, originated Coffee Corp, for the man who convinced me that open mic should happen in Fitchburg when he was doing them at Strong Style. Give it up for Coffee House Craig.
Check. Tyler, am I at the right? Okay, all right. Hey, thank y'all. No, fantastic. Thank y'all for being here. Honestly. Okay, I only got 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna read this. I'm working on a new project. This is fantastic. This is here because, as Laura said, this a lot of like what I do now started downstairs. So to be here and like to do this with y'all, Jennifer, et cetera, like fantastic. You'll have no idea the magnitude. Okay. But this is dedicated to my man over here. So yeah, we're gonna be working on our second like collab album. We are working on it. I don't know if he's heard this yet. Okay, see? All right. Tentatively called Don't Try. Okay, just bear with me. First things first. Fuck a king. I'm out here trying to see if I can make it work. Ready for war. If it's up, then it's stuck to you in the dirt. That go for anybody on my family. I put that on my word. No, that's on my world. Ordinary tale of a young man who never learned all the lessons from when you scale and you end up getting burned every turn. Phantom flame, imaginary anvil, scorch the page, playing with fire, throwing stones, hiding hands. Are you insane? You know where I'm coming from. Walking through fields of thorns. Return trip, collect every crumb. Now follow where I'm going. Meticulous, crafted horns, magical thorns. This the norm when you built in rare form. Don't try this shit at home, you might get caught. Don't try this at home, you might get lost. Don't try this shit at home unless you in it from the start, blood, sweat, and tears. You sabotaging for the art. My name's your daddy, though.
One more time for Yo Daddy Do. And one more time for Edgar behind the bar. And like, I can't stress enough, if you're new to this, you will have stories like that too soon. Like, oh, I met this person here, and then we did this project, and then we did this project, and then they introduced me to him and her, who I did this project. That's like the joy of, to me, Fitchburg. Like, we're all doing our own shit. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Coffee Court in general, Yo Daddy Do specifically. One more time. And yeah, if I could have like genuine attention and respect to our next feature of the evening. This is a guy who impressed me so much with his love for the city and his respect and care for the city. You know, I grew up in Fitchburg, so it's really easy for me to be like, my fucking grandma lived on Milk Street, do you want to fight? But when somebody comes in from outside and really like sees the beauty and understands the legacy and really like respects what we're trying to do here, it means something really special. I've had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him for a long time personally, and you will not find a better listener and opener ear, kinder person to speak with. And like, my number one thing with these mics, with every feature, with every location, with every vendor, with everything I'm trying to do is promote like nice people to nice people. So please give it up for Ricardo Barros.
Well, thank you. You guys are why I'm here. So thank you. I'm going to show you two videos tonight. They're both 5 minutes. Basically, I'm going to be showing you 3 projects. 2 of them are 5 minutes, and then I'll be showing you 9 photographs from the project I'm currently working on. Oh, I meant to say I'm a photographer and a writer. I aspire to poetry, but it's something I can't really touch, so I try to address it visually. And with that, we'll roll the first one.
There are 3 silos just outside my studio door. They contain Portland cement, freshly come by ship from South Korea. 2 silos are spherical. The other was more of a cylinder. Now that one, too, is a sphere. Immediately in front of them is a small brick pumping station. It is nearly a perfect cube, capped with a roof comprised of 4 triangles. Off to one side are mountains of salt, floated in from Chile. Off to the other are mountains of gypsum. Visitors arriving at my studio are often startled to discover the silo's existence, even though the containers are visible from a distance. These silos are so huge as to be inseparable from the landscape. They seemingly have always been there. It is, in fact, their enormity that disorders one's perspective. First, they creep onto the horizon. Then, as one approaches, they overwhelm everything in their presence. This monumental quality aside, the sheer geometry of these forms begs for a study of light, shadow, and space. They are as if shaped wooden blocks in an artist's studio. They may not have been placed with artistic intent, but these silos now inhabit a still life composition. Not one, but many. Not once, but always. Light wraps around their surfaces in both dramatic and nuanced ways. What one sees changes with the hour, day, and season. Sometimes it is their volume that one sees, other times their curvature. Still others, it is the quality of their skin or the paraphernalia attached to it. Sometimes one sees their function, or one sees nearly nothing because so much is hidden. To the artist, then, the question these silos pose is, how is the same thing different? Or, more succinctly, how is it now? These photographs are my response. Over the past several years, I have observed, photographed, waited, observed, and photographed some more. I do not represent these photographs to be objectively seen, even if they are faithful to their subjects. Far too many choices are required along the way. The subtleties I stalk are visible only from a particular vantage and at a certain moment. I am constantly mindful of how colors translate into shades of gray, and I revel in the freedom to expand and contract space. I find my answers in the stillness preceding each shutter's click. This is how it is now. See it. Rejoice.
Okay, and so the next video is an entirely different subject. It's about seeing the world differently. And they're 360-degree panoramas. And one of the things that I learned in making these photographs is that we all can see the same thing and we interpret it differently. And the photographs I'm about to show you are of real life, and they're no more or no less real than photography as we're used to, but they show us things that we may be familiar with in an entirely new way, and that can be very disorienting. And so what I learned is that that's how we experience life, and that's how we interact with each other. Sometimes we might be next to somebody and we'll both see the same thing and come away with different perspectives. So here's the next set.
Photography is a form of observation. We often learn things when we look more closely, especially when we look at something from a different perspective. 360-degree panoramic photographs record everything visible from a particular point in space. I shoot scores of pictures, each looking in a different direction, and digitally stitch them into a seamless image. If I presented the composite image on a computer, the viewer's experience would be one of virtual reality. Viewers could choose where to look, and their perception would resemble that of someone physically in the setting. Flattening the panorama into a two-dimensional photograph distorts how that setting is presented. Because it takes time to make the required shots, a person photographed at one location in one shot may reappear at a different location in a different shot. Yet, in the composite panorama, the two are concurrently present. Our reconstruction of a person's path to progress from point A to point B asserts a logical sequence of events and indirectly acknowledges the passage of time. Upon seeing my photographs, a friend pointed out that these images visually parallel the work of physicists who study time and space. Time and space are mutable and entangled. Apart from the science, these photographs challenge us to reconsider what we know. If one walked out the right side of a 360, they would simultaneously re-enter from the left. Our normal context for interpreting photographs does not apply to this work. At the time of photography, there is no top, bottom, or side to an image. I know what will be included in the photograph because I can see it. But I never know what my photograph will look like. Artistic composition is reduced to the choice of a single point in space. How does one suppress such a dramatic technical process and elevate ideas? Two considerations are essential for me: time and narrative. Conventional photography addresses time through the camera's shutter speed. A fast shutter speed isolates a discrete instant, while a slow shutter speed suggests that the moment lingers. My photographs reference time through the law of continuity. Our world, as we perceive it, is continuous. People don't just disappear and reappear somewhere else. When we see the same person in two different places in one photograph, we can't help but infer how could that have happened. We implicitly understand that such an image could only have been produced if the photographs were made over time. Assembling an inferred chronology is the first spark of a story. With camera on tripod, I set certain events in motion. What happens next, or what the photograph actually looks like, always surprises me. Physicists inform us that time and space are entangled. Bending time and folding space gives me a fresh perspective, even on things I may already know. In these photographs, we see everything all at once.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. By coincidence, those photographs are on display right now at the Fitchburg State University Gallery, and they will be for another month. So if you'd like to see what they look like in person, then you can go and see them there. Okay, and then I'd like to now talk about my third project. We've been we just arrived in Fitchburg about 2 years ago. And when we arrived, the first thing we fell in love with was the architecture and the history. I mean, it's just embedded. You just feel it. And then we started meeting people, and I liked all the people. I couldn't believe it. I mean, people were like they're walking across the street to be helpful. I just love that. And as our radius of making friends expanded, and we went outside city limits, I discovered that there was a bit of a stigma associated with stigma for its past. It had to do with the river, it had to do with the economics and all that. And I couldn't reconcile what I was experiencing and the way people perceived Fitchburg. But having been a professional photographer, I thought, I have the tools to address this. Yes. And so I am doing that. And so at the Fitchburg Art Museum, they have this photograph. It's by a photographer by the name of Jules Ahrens. Jules Ahrens photographed Boston's West End in the 1940s and 1950s. And what he was really interested in was the street life. But what's important to realize is that back in the 1940s and the 1950s, what he was photographing was already from a time gone by. He was photographing mostly Eastern European immigrants who came and they brought their old traditions with them. And part of that was the life on the street, and it's a sense of the neighborhoods. And I looked at the architecture, and it resembled Boston's West End. What was missing, though, in 2023 was the street life. And although, you know, now people with cell phones and everything else, they don't congregate on the street as they used to. I get that, but still, the streets seemed a little bit empty to me. And I thought, well, you know, the way that a city revitalizes is by when artists come in, they move into the lofts, the warehouses, the empty factories, and they make it palatable for other people to come in. And so, go to the next slide, please. So I decided to make a photograph honoring Jules Ahrens, and I literally put 3 artists on the street. And at the time, that was my vision for Fitchburg's salvation. I thought artists would swoop in and, you know, and poof, we'd have a great, a great city. Well, I mean, that is happening. But then I realized something else, and that's that the stigma was, well, number one, it wasn't just the people outside, it was that some people within Fitchburg had internalized the stigma too, and they made it especially difficult to move forward. But the second realization I had is that there were people in Fitchburg. Like in those empty streets, there were people in the buildings. And while I couldn't go into every building and pull the people out, I could go in the buildings and I could shine a light on those people. And that's what this project became, and I call it Facing Fitchburg. And I'm trying to put a spotlight on people with passion and agency who are making this a better place. The next slide, please. One of the... So this was one of the first people I photographed. And one of the things I've got to say is that people are multi-dimensional. And so, you know, Jennifer was the director of art for the Fitchburg Public Schools. And so she was in charge of the after-school enrichment programs. And what I learned was, well, with those programs, they had like puppetry, writing, painting, all sorts of crafts. So it wasn't more school, it was enrichment. And with that program, that they were able to close the achievement gap for the participating students by something like 85%. So it was an achievement. Okay, next slide, please. This is Abby Williams. Abby is having a show right now at Gallery Marquis, right up the street. Abby's theme is AI and how it perceives human beings and how it affects human beings' perceptions, specifically with respect to the figure. And it's a provocative show. I think that if you go and you see it, you're just going to see how technology may be affecting us. They're nudes, they're figures. What she did is she would paint or draw the figure, then she'd give it, she'd then show or scan the image and have artificial intelligence create a verbal a verbal description of what it saw. And then she would take that verbal description and give it back to AI and say, give me an artwork that fits this description, and then you can compare the two right there. And you see in this show, I mean, this is a brilliant show, and you'll see what is influencing what we perceive. And whether we like it or not, the media influences what we perceive. So go and see Abby's show at Gallery Marquis. Okay, next one, please. You might recognize this lovely lady from the Openest Mic. I mean, I was so impressed with the word openness is like the most open, and it's also the opennest. So she was very cooperative. I wanted to photograph her under the most expansive sky possible. And she got up early in the morning, and we made this photograph. Next one, please. I don't know if you all know Diego Barahona. He's all of 16 years old and an advocate for indigenous rights. He's started his own movement here. I think it's Warriors for Equity, I believe. He's got the Indian name for it, or the indigenous name for it, but that's how it translates. And the inspiration for this photograph was his Taino heritage. The Tainos were in the Caribbean, and he was specifically, I think, in Puerto Rico. When the colonialists came, they began to enslave the Tainos, who were peaceful people, and they were being enslaved and murdered, and they had to flee into the hills. They basically had to make themselves invisible. Well, we, the colonialists, basically almost eradicated their culture. And now the question is, or we ask, where are the indigenous people? And what he is saying, we are still here. And so I wanted to show him and indicate or suggest that he's making the indigenous people visible again. Okay, this is Andrew DeChristopher and Tristan Taylor. You might know them from Fitchburg Fiber. They are a tiny little startup, entrepreneurial startup, competing with Verizon and Comcast. So these guys are fighting the big guys, okay? Fiber, what is it? Fitchburg Fiber. It has a territory 1 mile by half a mile. God bless them, and they're doing it. Right? And their thing is that the internet should be a utility. We need the internet. Everybody needs the internet. With COVID and the shutdown of, that we experienced, there were kids that couldn't go to, well, nobody could go to school, but there were kids at home without internet. So there were children that had to go to McDonald's or the mall to do their homework. That's simply not right. So what these guys, what they're trying to do is they're saying, no, the internet should be just like a public utility. They are creating an affordable internet. It starts off at $40 a month, just like Verizon and those other guys, but Verizon's going to raise those prices. These guys want to lower the price over time. And these guys are already starting the process of making their little enterprise a customer-owned utility. Okay? So they've had venture capitalists come in and say, oh, we like what you're doing, can we buy you out? They could have cashed in. They're not cashing in. Awesome. Okay, next one. So, Fitchburg Fiber, if you consider them. Pete Capadogli, many of you may know him. He leads the Rock Walk. He owns a Boulder Gallery. And he's a local historian, and he's a collector of bicycles. Now, there was this fellow by the name of Ivor Johnson. He had Ivor Johnson Arms and Cycle Works right here in town. At one point, it employed something like 10,000 people in one factory. They had metallurgists. I have difficulty with that name. That's on. Scientists, engineers. So Ivor Johnson was huge, one of the big industrial tycoons here. And what Pete did is he collects Ivor Johnson bicycles, but he restored one. And so I photographed Pete riding an Ivor Johnson bicycle in front of Ivor Johnson's Victorian house. Okay, and this is Zach Boz. Zach is a social activist, but he's got gumption. Like, yay for books, he's opening 2 bookstores in Princeton, in Fitchburg. I just came from Princeton, I'm sorry. Princeton, New Jersey. But he's opening two bookstores right here in Fitchburg. And if you read, the editorial comments, he's all around. So when I started this project, I said, well, you know, we've got work to do, and I was rolling up my sleeves, and I said, I'm going to get cracking on it. And what I realized is we're here too. Here you are. Here I am. We have the critical mass. So thank you, and let's keep doing it.
Guys, one more time for Ricardo Barrows, please. As somebody who, like, again, like, grew up in Fitchburg, and, like, the stigma is and was, like, so real. And it sucks, like, so hard being a creative person, knowing tons of creative people, knowing people who are, like, innovative in their fields. Like, not like, oh, they're good for a local act, but innovative in their fields. And it's like, oh, they're from Fitchburg. I just really hope that you guys got from that a sense of pride and realized that you're part of it too. And thanks for being here. Thanks for doing the work. I feel like I want to talk about everybody's little projects, but again, I don't want to do that and ruin the surprise of everybody unwrapping each other, which I regret saying the second I did. Anywho, next up on this Openest Mic, if I can say, actually, before we do who's next up on this Openest Mic, can I walk with us? Sure. Okay, this has no wire. This is fun. So if I were to be like walking around Canvas by Coffee Corp, and I'm still walking around Canvas by Coffee Corp, and I don't know if you guys know this, I have knuckle tattoos, and one is for the moon, who is my girlfriend, and she came tonight. This is the moon, guys, the moon behind the bar. And that's, again, a beautiful thing about Fitchburg and about the people in Fitchburg, because, guys, we have so many fucking hats in this city, it would blow your mind. So, the creator of that moon, and I hope a personal friend of mine, Thomas Mosier, please come next on the Openest Mic. Guys, give it up for Thomas.
Testing. Okay, that works. Hey there, everyone. Thank you for being here. What a lineup beforehand. It's an honor to be following all of that. Just gonna pull up something real here quick. So, thank you again for being here. Before I start reading these poems I have for you, I want to give you a brief introduction. So I've been encountering some coincidental events from July until now, and it's reignited a spark inside me. There was a chance I could have presented the set I have for tonight at the last Openest Mic, the full Mooniest Mic, but it wasn't selected from my experimental Choose Your Own Adventure that night. So after confiding in friends and family, professional, and myself, I decided it would be best to fit it in tonight to the new Mooniest Mic, where it may help with processing of healing and could symbolize building new beginnings. Disclaimer, the poems are not my own, and normally I would give credit, but I don't know if the person who wrote them may want to remain anonymous. I will say, though, that this person was the moon to me, and they have already motivated me to make many other completed works of art. I will always wish the best for them. The first poem portrays an idea I like to believe in across people, both romantically and platonically. It also has partially influenced an essence onto me that fits with introspective work about ghosts that I have not released yet. So this next poem is The Wind and the Sea. How ironic, we were two strangers searching the seas for each other, only to realize we were touching the same shore. So for some years, I've been thinking about incorporating this second poem into at least a couple different works of sculpture and illustrated comic. This next poem is Metamorphosis. She's as delicate as a leaf supporting her, giving comfort and reassurance. Slowly, she makes her way across the path, doing so without any guidance. Comfortably nestled in her cocoon, a sight as mysterious as the sun and the moon. With such fierce confidence, she opens her wings. So many beautiful colors and patterns. Life is full of treasurable things. The sun is rising and summer is here. She has learned there is nothing to fear. So that's all for tonight. If you want to see more of me, you can check out my Instagram. I've got it written on the back there on the list. And you can just come back here to Canvas.
One more time for Thomas as a board member of Coff33 Corp. Give it up for Thomas. In the same way that like Ricardo was talking a lot about the people like doing the fucking work, Thomas is definitely one of those dudes like doing the work. So thank you so much for being here. I know this is definitely also part of doing the work. Next up to the Openest Mic is another beautiful bitch out here doing the work. Sarah Beth, come on up here, girlfriend. Guys, give it up for Sarah Beth. Thank you.
How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, a little bit louder. One more time. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm always so excited when the microphone is in my hand. Not sure what's gonna happen tonight, but it's gonna be fun. I wanna let you know that. My mother actually said that I was born with a microphone, so I'm sure that was extremely painful for her coming out of the womb with the whole microphone. But that's what she literally says when I say like, Mom, I'm gonna go do poetry, I'm gonna do my thing. She's like, you were born for this. So I'm just so honored to be here. One thing I wanted to mention is a statement that I kept feeling while I was watching the artists here, and that is that I have been bathing in the art that has been displayed on this stage. I have been enraptured. I have wanted to dance. I have wanted to move my hips. I have wanted to cry. I have wanted to stand up and raise my hand in solidarity to what has happened on this stage tonight. I am honored to be here. I am many things. I am a poet. I'm really funny, guys. No, seriously, I am. I'm really funny. Like, if I'm goofy, we're having a good time, and I'm feeling goofy too. So what I also wanted to mention is that in the whole wide world that we have right now, there's so much going on that if we can draw back, can you just look around the room, look at the other humans that are here? Laura, I want to, beautiful bitch, over here, right here, right here. All right, I'm feeling better. See, that's the thing. We sit in our houses, we go to our jobs, and we feel so isolated and we feel so alone. And there's people out there who are really afraid of what's going on. But when you can create together an atmosphere of acceptance, love, fun, exploration, and people are happy, this is what's actually happening. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. I was born and raised in Fitchburg, Mass., and I moved to Cape Cod for 27 years. If I told someone, hi, I'm Sarah Beth, I'm from the Cape, you know, big smile, oh, really? And then I'm on the Cape, and if I tell people, hi, I'm from Fitchburg, I had a guy in the military, serious, I'm not even lying. I was like, yeah, I'm from Fitchburg, Mass. He went, I went to do poetry in Boston. I did an open mic, and I was standing up there, and it was, you know, I was really intimidated by them. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm from Fitchburg, hold your wallets or whatever, because it really is out there. But you know what else is out there? That this city is revitalizing itself. It's actually happening, you guys. It's actually happening. It's happening here at Coff33 Corp, Yo Daddy, with what they did. It's happening with the Openest Mic. It's happening all over the place because you guys came. And you're here. And this is what I want to be a part of. And the last thing I'm going to say before I actually exit the stage is that I have a deep desire in my heart for one thing. First of all, I'm full of love. But second is that we just all at some point, if we can do this as a globe, just come together as humans. Human is enough. Human is enough. We bleed, we cry, we feel, we hurt, we try, we work, we love, we go on. Human is enough. Labels, they're great. Appropriate labels like biohazard, like nuts included. You know what I mean? Don't touch this, one way. Labels are important for things to be in order, but not for people. Can we just pull back from the labels? Keep your label, but you're more than that. You're a human being. And if we can get to be a human race, a family, a real family, and unify on the fact that we're all humans, then maybe the human race has a chance. And I want the human race to have a chance. A chance to love, a chance to welcome, to be a good neighbor, to show up, to vote, to make a difference however you can. When you're out in the community, I would like to ask you to do a nice, kind thing for someone. Remind someone that we're human together. Human first, everything else after. Human first. Human is hard. It's a tall order, and it's a heck of a ride. Am I right? Am I right? Yes, please. Human first. Let's just love each other like that. Thank you.
Guys, one more time for Sarah Beth. I'm not much of a physical artist, but drawing somebody born with a microphone in their hands, that's haunting. Thank you so much. I love the person who's like, you know what? Laura's been drinking. It's 7:49. Let's have the most fucking confusing name on the mic. Zenzi Zenzik? Oh, shit! Oh, shit. Come on up to the mic. Guys, give it the fuck up. We got some letter Z's in the house. Zenzi Zenzik. Give it up.
Alrighty, my name is Zenzik, and I do noise for mental health and suicide prevention. Thank you.
Holy fuck. One more time for the name I can't say. Holy shit. Whew. That was like super, I don't know, I don't want to brag, but in my early 20s, I used to do a lot of homemade DMT. And that's kind of what that felt like. That was lovely. Oh, thank you so much, guys. One more time.
Thank you.
All right, so we have two more people on the Openest Mic, and one of them is Andy James. Andy James, you're running in the wrong direction, baby girl. Guys, give it up for Andy James.
Hello, friends. How are you? So I just wanted to give it up for Tyler. And give it up for Laura. Look at how beautiful she looks tonight. Yeah, so let me go and look for something to do because I don't have anything prepared. Isn't that so very organized of me? Thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. So, So this is a poem that I wrote about an ex-boyfriend. It's called Here's Your Fucking Poem. I loved you, and I'm sorry for being so despotic, but every time you brew my cup of coffee, the feeling I get is like a narcotic. The tension is so deep, I vomit out my words in a messy conglomerate that can only be described through poems I want to sing to the birds that you are exactly what the doctor prescribed. Fierce passion for your lover and a protection so great that you can move mountains, but beyond further inspection, it's only left me filling fountains. But the bear went through the volcano to still be left a Jane Doe. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Guys, one more time for Andy James. We're going to do that thing where we forget about linear time because there's one more person on the mic who I happen to love dearly. Guys, give it up for Paula Giaquinto. Paula!
Thanks for being so patient, everyone. Oh, Tyler, help. Oh, it's always such an honor to be here. So I have 3 poems in chronological order. Having spent many years in schools that tried, and some say tired, first day activity, what I did on my summer vacation, is my writing assignment this year. Suppose it's not so much how hard or how long you stare as where you are when you look. Suppose, looking out, the flat, gray-green ocean unending, straight against the light sky stripe, surface pulsing, separating misty white caps from sunken pirates' deep sleep wet, only to be pierced by feathered heads diving for feasts below. Above the sky stripe, a shelf of thick, threatening gray clouds, releasing curtains of quick and quiet rain, too far from shore to move the waves. The sun shifting from dark to brighter on shore, sweeping behind birds and bathers to chase shadows along. Suppose looking up, higher than the wet and the stripe and the curtains, but close enough Your hands seem to touch and frame the dark blue dome singing with shorebirds, and 100 cotton white travelers sharing space with so many chins and snouts. A ceiling frieze with faces and garlands and a winking eye, sculpted by wind and wonder. Poodle, butterfly, crocodile jaws, jolly Santa seals and skulls, softly shattering, skittering along, cherubs kissing the sun. Roman-nosed old men, mouths open, crying to the gods as their shared heart, broken, dissolved from all sides with each one's sharp breath. All rising and fading and rising and slow everythings, unmaking themselves. Features turn to feathers, wisps tumbling, drifting, while sunlight plays tricks in the open blue. Ice air rainbows weave between clouds and heaven's cathedrals. 1,000 diamonds ride the water, ephemeral treasures. Here, nowhere, time wanders. Suppose, eyes closed, not looking, unsteady feet in the sandy wash, you also change your shadow, replaced by slow everything, shape-shifting, rippling, wearing its own feathered features, before and after and always deepening, light to dark blue, even for a moment, singing to the clouds. I have a eulogy for September 11th, but that's too sad to end the night. I can't say it without crying. So, last poem, September. It's called A Toast to Autumn. Fox and owl meet for their nightly debate, rivalry born of moonlight and humankind's myths. Behind the barn, amidst the grapevines and goldenrod, September reminds of the rules. Hers is guidance only, an important if temporary peace, caring for autumn's bounty and what each needs to survive the coming wars of icy winds and winter's deadly snows. Owl and fox live by wit and wile, generations old, secrets sometimes cruel. As twilight darkens and leaves grow still, the feathered-tongued owl spoke low to the fox. Who, you prowl the hills and woods, we swoop and ride above. Earth and air, both hunters fair, but who is the best? With a sly smile, fox replied, we chase, you watch. As wise as you may be, what do you see? The owl turned, head askew, and hooted, I see hearts that beat in the dark, small, scared, hiding to no avail. The russet shadow just swished his tail and replied, I smell change on every trail, sniff the air that you climb, taste the prey between my teeth, a catch that never fails. Blinking owl laughed, a sound like the cold to come. Who cooks for you? The remains you hunt, already ghost with substance gone. You, dear fox, only know the taste of what is already lost. Ah, September steps in, truce her tune. We all recall what was sung when both we and the world were warm and young. No need to argue or boast. To autumn, a simple toast before vanishing into the night. Thank you.
Now that look comfy. All right, guys. So when I can focus enough, shout outs to Tara, to read, to do like the Rorschach test of poetry, I do. So this is every line from every person tonight that stuck out to me. And this is the poem that I wrote. And I really encourage you guys not only to do this at open mics, not only to do this at the Openest Mic, do this at boring meetings. It makes boring meetings really fun. Don't tell my boss. Anyway, this is the Openest Mic at Canvas's poem. The sacred place between holding on and letting go. The same ones willing to maximize profit as they burn every last bit. Seeing good with half a glass. On second thought, it is a fire and brimstone reality. And in all cases, we were forced to conclude that people think their comments are important. The bottle's nasty, but the liquid is clean. I have built trust within myself. This man's religion is vain. Are you the ship of dreams? In a web of haughty nothingness, I don't recognize who I was then, and that's the point. The subtlety I stalk, the freedom to contract space, a sight as mysterious as the sun and moon. Not sure what's gonna happen tonight, but I'm sure it'll be fun. But the best went through, the sun shifting from brighter to darker, onshore, sculpted by wind and wonder. I love you guys so much. Have a good night. Thank you so much for being here.